So this is the inverter running free, as it were, with no internal limiting running, and stable at, sort of 1300 watts or thereabouts. And this is the inverter being affected seemingly by the PV mate. It's being sort of pulled down to 0 watts for some obscure reason. There's no internal limiting on the inverter at this point. All the power is being managed by the PV mate. And as we can see by the spinning wheel meter, we can kind of see what's going on there too. So this is the 1200 watts ish coming in from solar on the spinning wheel meter, and the load is a 2 kilowatt immersion heater. So that forward motion on the wheel is the balance being made up from the grid. And here we go. This is the lunacy where all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and there's a whole load of exporting to the grid, and these events of seemingly wild disconnect from what's really going on coincide with the inverter itself being pulled up and down. And a little return to normality, and as you would expect, but followed by another wild moment of crazy export, and inverter hunting up and down all over the place trying to make sense of it. It would seem that oh, there we go, we've steadied off again, but this is exactly what happens. There's never ever a still wheel on the meter. Bit more export, that may just fly off in a moment and start to get a bit more serious, but there shouldn't be any export anywhere if it's managing to connect and understand what the CT is telling it in terms of current flow. The inverter's certainly nothing like that. It's absolutely rock steady. Here's the PV mate dumping about 0.37 kilowatts into hot water, but at the same time exporting about a kilowatt. So very, very strange. So here's another little test with a light bulb as part of the load. That sort of really visually gives you an idea of the unstable up and downness of the whole system, but also the flickering of the light bulb would indicate some pretty rough switching to the load. Excuse me, dying here. So when I first started this, it was exporting all of the panels 1400 watts to the water heater without any problems. But about now, if not a wee bit before, it dropped that down to 300 watts and was merrily exporting, but still doing the shunting up and down of the inverter, hence the main supply, and still doing this horrible flickering on the load switching.